Hello and welcome. Today will be an interesting video. I'm hoping this can be used because today I am in my 1967 Corvette as just a test and an example. I don't have it plugged in. This is just regular audio, and now I'm going to start the car. So that is what the car is like at idle. That's what it sounds like when I rev it up. Remember I did those audio tests? There's a reason I did those audio tests and the mount tests. And this is going to be kind of interesting because this is a new location. I don't know if I thought last time I did a video and I had it mounted up on the windshield. Now I've got it on the vent window, but I'm going to start the car and we're going to see what this is like with the Apple microphone that hopefully can pick me up over the car. Vibration doesn't look too bad all the time, but just in case this works. Oops. And I'm back. Had to make a few adjustments to the mount. It really didn't work where I had it because it was too close to the steering wheel. Assuming you can hear me on this. Assuming that audio works, I'm going to let you hear the car here. That was just a little quick 30 mile an hour first, second gear. Nothing too hard, no too crazy. But why do I drive a car like this? Oh, it's fun. I love the car. And I choose my cars based on enjoyment, not based on just a thing to get me from point A to point B. You know, I would not have fun if my daily driver was a Toyota Prius. You know, no offense to those of you who like the Prius and think that that's a great car and it saves you money because you got a long commute. All that makes sense if that works for you. But for me, you know, I picked the car that I think looks great, feels great, sounds great, makes me feel good, puts a smile on my face when I drive. And for me, that's the older cars. That's why my daily driver is the 67 Chevelle. And my, gonna go wave to the old Pontiac Catalina. And my fun car is the Corvette here. I haven't bought a car for myself in over 20 years. I had a 67 Corvette before this. This is a 66 Corvette. So I had that car and it had issues. It was in the shop a lot. It was an East Coast car. The frame was very rusty, so that caused problems. So I sold it and I missed it. And I went back and I looked for another mid-year, as we call these, the 1963 to 67 Corvettes. And I got this one back in about 1990. Similar time frame, maybe it was 91, 92, I think. And I think it was 1990 as well, is when I got my Chevelle. My then daily driver was my college car, a 69 Dart, nothing special, pretty boring car actually. 3-speed on the column, 3 on the tree. But when it came to time for want to replace that, I almost bought a Buick Grand National, but it wasn't a stick, so I didn't buy that. Same thing with a Monte Carlo, of the brand new ones, the new in the dealerships. So I started looking at the older cars. I was looking at Chevelles, Novas, BMW 2002s from the early 70s, some of the Porsche 911s from the early 70s. Basically cars that I looked at and I said, hey, that would be a fun car to drive, and I test drove a bunch of them. And, you know, I could have bought any of them. It's not that it's like, oh, I had to get the Chevelle. I even tested some Chevelles up into the 70s. And it was just a combination of the price and the car. So for me, for the daily driver, there's a lot of boxes to be checked and a lot of cars that fit that were all older cars. Whereas the Corvette, no, I wanted a Corvette 65 to 67 because those have disc brakes and non-original, so that I would have a little bit more freedom to drive it, modify it, that kind of thing. A lot of people buy cars like these and turn them into collectibles, and they sit in garages, and that really pisses me off, because what the whole point of a Corvette is that it's a car. It's meant to be driven. It's a fun car, and it's a performance car. When these things were new, people thrashed the hell out of them. They didn't go off and say, oh, I got to treat it really nicely. I'm only going to rev it to 4,000 RPM. I'm not going to take it to 6,700 RPM and risk breaking anything. No, they just drove the hell out of them. And that's what the car likes. That's what the car's made for. So that's what I like. So what do you guys drive? Why do you drive them? And how do you choose them? One other interesting thing that I get with these is sort of a side benefit. I do not buy the cars as investments, but they do appreciate in value, as opposed to buying a new car that depreciates in value. I'm about to go around a roundabout, and this is going to be, hopefully doesn't make you guys dizzy. This is going to be fun. I'm not going to talk, I'm just going to do it so I can concentrate. I just did that for fun. No reason they needed to do that. Although something else I'm going to do for fun, just since I have had comments, people say they love the sound of the car, and I don't know what comes through this that might be a little bit muffled, because it does have noise reduction. I will pull it out and pull out the microphone and let you guys just hear the car just a little bit. And that's how the video is going to end. It's just with me going along and you're hearing the car. Speed limit is 25 here, and I will not be exceeding the speed limit, so it's not like you're going to hear crazy stuff. If I let it go a little bit longer, I might go to a 35 mile an hour speed limit area. See, that's all I can do. That's speed limit. Yeah, I went first gear to fourth gear. Boom, just 1, 4. I have no idea if you can hear me, but I'm going to go off to the street that's going over this way. It's a 35 mile an hour speed limit, and I should leave. And there you have the issues with pulling the microphone out while you're recording. The audio got disassociated, and it was way delayed, and I got a big blank spot in the middle. I fixed the audio, synced it up, but here I am doing my example and talking and driving, but you can't hear the car. So basically, this is it. Brad Waller signing out. Bye.